Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week, presented by Hydeman Associates and brought to you by Igloo Outfitters and Odeon. We are here at Alta High School as we've got a region matchup and an old school rivalry. The Alta Hawks preparing to take on the Brighton Bengals. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Please be joined by the Moose Bingham. Moose, we got a good one tonight, Alta and Brighton.
I'm so excited. This is a rivalry 40 years in the making, and there's a lot of good things going on. We've got plenty of Division I talent out here, and we've got a lot of good things going. I mean, we've got the Lapuaho kid, who I love, number 77.
You're a big fan. Big fan.
He's a good dancer, and I want to see him dance some more. Hopefully the offensive staff at Alta will get him the ball. But it's going to be interesting. Brighton's going to be receiving the kickoff. They may be without their starting quarterback tonight, and that's a big storyline.
Yeah, Brighton's going to hope that they don't see Lapuaho dancing in the end zone. And you mentioned it, Jack Johnson, what a career he's had. A young man who's committed to go play at Georgetown, 64% completion percentage, over 2,000 yards through the air this season, will not be playing tonight. So Brighton, we're going to see a different quarterback. We'll get into that as the Bengals in the road white uniforms. Look, I'm not a big fan of blue and orange, but this is a great look for Brighton High School, and they're set to receive tonight's opening kickoff as big region implications in this one. Brighton still undefeated in region play, as is West. Alta, been a tough region start for them. This is a really critical win for the Hawks as our game of the week underway. This kickoff in the end zone for the touchback. And so we will see that Brighton offense come out. And Moose, without Jack Johnson, going to need some other guys to step up here for Brighton tonight.
Brighton, they still have experienced receivers. They've got Nash Matheson. Their tight end is phenomenal. They've got a lot of good things going for them, but this Alta defense is really good as well.
It is really good. It flies around, can be very physical. We saw that in the first matchup, especially up front when we did them against Westlake. As Coach Satera, head man here at Brighton, and it's Caden Morzalewski, the senior, getting the start at quarterback tonight. 5 receivers set here for the Bengals to start off here from their own 20.
Cade has been waiting for this his whole life to be starting, and it's hard to get a rep behind Jack Johnson.
Talking with staff before the game, is this a design draw for Caden? Alta ready for it. They take him down. Gain of 1 on the play, but the discussion with the staff before the game was, look, Caden's been the backup quarterback the last couple years. He's been playing other positions, but to your point, Moose, tonight is his night to shine from behind center.
And you're not going to get a lot of yards on this defense. Leka Tuakoi was right there, and his arms were open and waiting, and he said, hello, welcome to your first varsity hug at quarterback.
Yeah, that's a meeting he might get to have several times tonight. Second down, empty backfield again. Morzalewski looking left side through the line of scrimmage and brought down after a gain of 4. A little quicker burst there from Caden on that run.
Yeah, I like to see that burst, but you're still third and about 5. So that's going to be a little bit difficult to get out of there.
3rd and 5. And look, there's a lot of targets for this offense. Wismer, Beams, Matheson. We'll see if they get them engaged here on 3rd down. 3rd down. They're going to run it again up the middle. Caden with some good room, and he's got a first down for Brighton.
So Caden's getting confidence just running the ball right into the teeth of that defense, running into Gabo Fisa and this ferocious defensive line, and the linebackers behind him are just as good. So I don't know how much you want to risk that because there's only so many quarterbacks you have on your roster, and you're already down to number 2. Who knows if number 3 is going to be good.
Yeah, but I think some of that is help him get in the feel of the game, right, and maybe settle some of those nerves, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Alta showing pressure here with those linebackers. They're going to run it again, man. This is the Caden show here early on. And Caden's still on his feet. How about the run by Morzalewski? That looked like it was bottled up after 1. He takes it across midfield to the 42-yard line. What a run by Morzalewski and the Bengals.
You know what? Coach Satera, there's a reason he's a coach. He's finding every single advantage he can. This offensive line, they're young, but they're hungry. There's a lot of good players on the offensive line. Most of them are sophomores and juniors.
Well, and here's the thing. It's a line that has had to go through some tests. I mean, you talk about they've played Desert Hills. They've played Syracuse, which is big. They coming off a win over East, which is always physical up front. They've done a nice job all year. Again, Alta showing pressure on first down as Morzgalewski looking over to the sideline. He's got Hurdle there with him to the left, and now Mason will motion over to his right. Alta continuing to show pressure. They bring it. First throw, Morzgalewski looking up the sideline, coming back, and it's broken up. Boy, just getting a hand in late there for the Hawks was, I believe that might have been Singleton.
Yeah, Singleton, big body, 6'3", 180 pounds. You don't see that at cornerback very often in high school. Most of those guys are like, give me the rock, I'm a receiver, no matter what you say. I like to see these guys playing both ways. Him and Jager on the other side are dogs.
Well, and Jager 6'2", so good length on the perimeter for the Alta Hawks in this defense. Be a second down.
What's nice is Brighton knows they can take their time. They only put up 21 points last week, but their defense only gave up 20, so that's a win.
Yeah, it's been a good defense this year. We'll get into that as the game goes on. They'll hand this off, and looking up the middle there, gain of about 2, maybe 3 for the Bengals.
I really like Marshall Hubert, the 6'5", 265-pound tackle, just trying to push the running back through. There's a lot of bodies on the floor.
There's a lot of big men up front. I mean, there's a lot of beef on the line of scrimmage tonight.
A lot of people were wondering where the beef was throughout the 90s. We know. It's at Alta High School tonight.
And Brighton, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's at Alta, but I got you. I'm a little slow. 3rd and 7. Johnson looking over to the sideline. Excuse me. Man, that's habit for you right there. Morzgalewski looking to the sideline. Again, Jack Johnson not suited up tonight. Little screen. Boy, and tough getting out, and Morzgalewski just going to have to throw this. Look, that's good hands by Siale Ofa, but he was not eligible. There's a late flag coming in here on the play. This might be lineman downfield would be my guess.
Siale Ofa was pretty excited about catching that pass right there, and he was really sad that he was not on the field to do so.
Well, look, the corner's now warmed up for Brighton, but it was ineligible receiver downfield, so Alta going to enforce this penalty, and it will back up this Bengal offense.
That's a choice right there. Who I'd look out for is Miles Peters, the 6'3", 6'4" tight end. He's an absolute dude, number 85 on your programs. Look out for him in these kind of imperative situations.
And now we've got, still have some discussion here.
Punt.
And looked like they might have ended up.
4th down.
Did they decline the penalty? The stick is marked off like they accepted it, but if it's 4th down, the punting team's on, that means they would not. So, yeah, I think a change of decision there. Be 4th and 7, and Brighton here to kick it away.
So we do get to see a Johnson, though. We get to see Bodie Johnson, the junior long snapper, who's one of the top snappers in the country.
We'll get into that. I got a good little tidbit about that one. This punt angled inside the 20, takes a Brighton bounce. Oh, Moose, that's going to make you happy. First touch will be at the 5, but that's a pretty good punt there for the Bengals.
You know what? The one thing that makes my cold, dark heart happy is good special teams, and we got to see it.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like the Grinch. My heart got 3 times size larger with that punt.
We do want to take a moment. Thank our sponsors here that make this stream possible. Heidemann and Associates is a full-service law firm that's completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the law office nearest you. First drive of the game for Alta. Remember, we were here a couple weeks ago, and it was a 95-yard touchdown run for Alta. We'll see if Kepa Niumetolu has that in him here. He'll hand off out of the backfield, a gain of 2.
So Brighton's defensive line is really good as well with Schill and all of them. Kimball Schill, 6'3", 245. They've got James Kincaid, 6'5", 220. There's some length, there's some height, and there's some angry Tigers in that defensive line.
There are, but there's a lot of skill in this Alta offense. Kepa Niumetolu, we saw him earlier, sophomore getting the start tonight. Matt McKay, we'll see him tonight. He's a straight-up athlete for the Hawks, can play quarterback. They can also throw him out in patterns and formations. Very versatile. As Kepa looking over the middle, that one broke it up. Hey, we said Siale got warmed up on the sideline, came into play there on 2nd down.
That was a good throw to Wyatt Johnson. You'll see him incorporate Wyatt into this offense. And here's the deal. Alta, if they get started, there may be no stopping these Hawks.
Well, you talked about this Brighton team, and that defense has been really stout. Made a stop on a 2-point conversion to defeat East last week. They've got...
was it a stop?
It was ruled a stop. Look, I mean, it was ruled a stop. If it wasn't, then Brighton would have lost that game. Here's Kepa. Sees some room. Kepa using the legs. Kepa up to the 18-yard line. That'll be good for a first down.
Man, Kepa, great vision right there, seeing the defensive spread out. He's not really known for his athleticism, but my goodness, the sophomore can scoot his little boot, and get himself to the 18.
Scoot his boot, huh?
Yeah, his boots.
That sounds like a country song right there.
The boot, scoot, and boogie.
Little scoot, the boot. First and 10. Alta staying on the ground here. Well, that's a nice job filling that lane. I think that might have been Miles Morgan, the senior linebacker, coming up to make first contact.
Man, great job filling that hole. That's one thing that scares me. It's like, all right, you've got the B gap, and it's like, I don't know if I want the B gap. These running backs are good, and Alta has a good one as well.
Yeah, I mean, you think about, we talked about Kepa, but Anthony Cottis, what a year for this young man. Great career, 500 yards rushing, 5 rushing touchdowns for him. He's averaging like 6+ yards a touch. Been a very good running back in his career here at Alta. Over the middle again, that one through the fingertips of Wyatt Johnson, the intended target. This Brighton pass defense moves, they've looked good early.
Wyatt Johnson is going to wish he had that one back. Great throw, great read. And it's interesting to see Brighton. They're intimidating in the backfield.
Yeah.
You can hear some steps. Casey Satera is a great defensive coach, but his little brother, another Satera, played defensive back at Utah State, and he's teaching these young Bengals what they need to do in the backfield.
I didn't realize Utah State tied there. I've now got a tie to the Sateras. That's fantastic. Watch out, Dusty. I'm coming. Trips to the top of the screen. Near side. That caught. Boy, it was good coverage there, but an even better play made by Matt McKay.
Matt McKay, he can do it all. He's only a junior, and he can go in at quarterback. He can be a running back. I mean, Matt last week had 3 rushing touchdowns, I believe.
I don't remember how many, but it's one of the impressive things. He started the year at quarterback, and they moved to Kepa, said, we think we like this a little bit better, and Matt took it like a champ, and you see, hey, how can I get involved? How can I help the team? Maybe a switch of position, doesn't matter. That takes a lot of character for a junior in high school to be able to take that and go out and find other ways to contribute.
Especially in today's climate. I mean, most kids would be like, I'm moving to Arizona.
Right.
They're like, whoa,
Yep.
That's a bold move right there. He's like, I'm staying put in my roost right here, and I'm getting her done.
This Alta team, they got a lot of talent. They can do something special. When you have players bought in like that can be a big difference come playoff time. Second down, Kepa looking again. That nearly intercepted. Boy, I'll tell you, early on, it's been some nice plays from Miles Morgan, Moose.
Miles is a good player. He doesn't have the measurables that you're looking for at the next level, but he has the heart, and that's what's nice.
A 5'11", 200 pounds. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean, that's about my height. What are you saying, Moose? I don't have a future.
Hey, you know what?
At this game,
if you could kick a ball, you'd have a future at the D1 level.
Maybe he can. Third down.
Oh,
Brighton was showing pressure there.
Now they're talking it over. You see the trips to the top, and you've got one-on-ones. It looks like the safety in the single high is not giving them help.
You're right. That one. Oh, that was caught. That's a nice catch going to the ground there, made by Weber. He's going to be short by 2 yards. You go for it here, Moose?
As much as I love special team, 2 and under, just go for it when you've got Lapuaho at tackle.
And looks like they might. Kepa, I think he's staying on here. No, he's coming off. McKay's on. This is where you can get a little fun, right?
Yes, it is. But they only have 14 seconds. Who knows if they're punting or not?
Looks like they're going to punt.
Oh, I'm okay with it, but I don't love it.
That's coming from a kicker.
I know.
And I don't think that, did run into a delay of game unless they got a timeout in.
You know what? I'd take the delay of game here and preserve that timeout, honestly.
I agree.
Try to get the puncher some more yards. That's what I'd always do.
Well, and especially they're still running the clock there. We'll get the stoppage here and get that settled away. Want to let you know the clock you see on your screen is unofficial. We do our best to keep it synchronized with the game clock here. And, hey, how about that? They're putting 4:38 on the clock. We're at 4:35. Hey, that's A+ tonight from our staff. Way to go, guys.
Wow. You know what? Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
No, that's all talent, man. That's all skill right there. 4th down. And this kick, McKay was reading it. That one off the side of the foot will take an out to bounce inside the 30 and be down at the 25.
Man, well, McKay can do it all, but wow, that was not a pretty punt. But a great result.
Hey, you know what? All you got to do is just get the yardage, right?
Yep.
Able to get down to the 25-yard line, good enough.
Yeah, giving yourself 75 yards to defend the field is huge. And now Alta's been able to settle down and be like, hey, this is going to be more of a running game than a passing game.
That's how it looks. This is a quick-moving first quarter. 4:24 left on the clock here. The second drive of the game for the Bengals.
Whoa, good clap. Saw the nose guard wanted to jump, but didn't quite get across the line. You can do whatever you want behind that line if you're the defense.
Yeah.
Just don't cross it. No touchy.
Here's Morzalewski, little option play. He'll give this back. Boy, Alta ready for it as Bo LaFleur felt the pain on that one. Alta flocking to the ball.
Man, that's what you love to hear on Friday nights. Just the pads, smack, smack.
I was cruising around today listening to the Boys of Fall, Moose. It finally feels like fall here in the state of Utah.
Oh, it felt like straight up winter last week. Gosh. I enjoy this weather. This is what I live for.
Beautiful. You get colors in the mountains.
I was about to start calling basketball last week. It was so cold.
I started calling basketball last week. Second down. Morzalewski has a man. That caught. First down for Brighton as they're able to find a tight end. Miles, and I can't read my own hand. Miles Peters?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Miles Peters. And great job by number 5, Calvin Lava'a. He came in with some bad intentions. The ref's like, hey, you can't hit that hard. Calm down, son.
First down, Bengals.
It's interesting that they're going wide out trying to spread this Alta defense.
On the ground, and that a gain of about 2 on the carry there from LaFleur.
What Alta's going to start doing is just manning up so they have free flyers going at the quarterback.
You're going to make Morzalewski beat you through the air, right?
Yep. But Brighton is taking their time on every single one of these runs. This might be the fastest first quarter I've ever been a part of.
Look, I'm trying to get you home, Moose, in time for Friday night dessert. So,
hey, nothing better than Mama's home cooking.
Little pie night, you know. Oh, and that picked off! What an interception by Alta! Brighton tried to get the screen going. How about that leap out of the air?
Garrett Jessup, my goodness. 6'3", trying to throw over that. You need to put a little oomph on that ball. But Garrett Jessup said, thank you very much. Great play.
Wow. Hey, that's a great way to start off senior night for this Hawk defense.
That is a fortuitous play for this Alta team. Brighton, they're trying to be methodical. They're trying to eat the clock up. And Alta coming in with some bad intentions.
Remember when we were here, 5 weeks ago? Alta had 3 drives starting inside the 15. This one, they'll have to settle for the 25, but Alta will take it. They'll go on the ground here. Oh, and just lost his balance on the carry there from Nolan Loans.
Turf monster gets you, no matter what level you're at. The nice thing is, we are in the house that Moose built.
Yes, we are.
And this is field goal range. I'm calling it right now.
And that's Noah Lonis. Our apologies there. I want to thank Alta. They gave us a pronunciation guide. We just have to remember to use it. 2nd and 9. And Lonis again with the carry, trying left side. And once again, there's that man, Miles Morgan, with another tackle.
Miles Morgan, he's like a bad stank. You just can't get rid of him.
He's one of their top tacklers coming into the contest. He is their top interception guy. That's a great little tidbit for a linebacker, eh?
That would be insulting for the defensive backfield, but heck yeah, great job, linebackers.
3rd down here for Alta. Inside of 2 to go in our opening quarter. Kepa. Looking, eyes down the field. No, trying to tuck it, still looking. Boy, look at the extension. Kepa looking end zone, has a man, caught, touchdown Alta. Abe Jaeger with the touchdown, but hold on, we got a penalty flag.
Oh no. You love to see the play. You love to see the creativity when everything's breaking down. Yeah, hate to see the dirty laundry on the field, though.
And the holding call. Holding will bring it back.
The offensive line is looking at each other. Was it you? Was it you? Was it me? It might have been all of them.
Boy, Kepa, how about the beautiful job of just hanging around, waiting for a guy to come open. Jaeger looked like he had what would have been his 3rd touchdown reception, but the holding penalty will negate it.
Oh. Jaeger just gets it done on both sides of the ball. I'd still put it in my huddle highlights.
Agreed. They're going to put 1:29 on the clock. Look, man, huddle's not going to show that flag, so just roll with it, right?
My goal for each kid, at least make one good play a quarter. You can make a heck of a highlight with one good play a quarter.
3rd down. Kepa again. He's got a man wide open. No one along the sideline. That's going to be close to a 1st down. Going to be just short.
Wow. That was an elite arm throw right there across the whole field. You've got the field and then you've got the boundary. Taking the snap from the boundary, throwing it across past the numbers. What a great play. Now it looks like we're going into 4th down.
I was going to say, Moose, you had an indication of aggressiveness earlier. You go for it here on 4th and short?
No, I kicked the field goal here.
Of course you do. But Alta disagrees. 4th and 2, the offense on the field. And look who's in the backfield. It's Moose's guy, Lapuaho. Ooh, Brighton holding the water there. Nearly got him. And we have, a delay of game. Wow, so a delay of game here as they were trying to get the hard count. It doesn't work. Another 5-yard penalty here on the Hawks.
That's a heartbreaker unless you're the kicker.
Well, that makes the decision for you, right, Moose?
Yep. Looks like Diego Moriera is going to come out here and happily get a 40-yard field goal.
Yeah, I don't know Diego Moriera, but doesn't that sound like a movie name?
Yeah, Diego Moriera.
It's got a great.
You killed my father. It's got
a great flow, man. Moriera from 39 yards. This kick low and no good. Ooh. Missed it wide.
Got it fat. So what he did is he looked up before he made contact with the ball, came around, hit it fat. You go away with no points tonight.
Boy, so a missed opportunity for Alta off the turnover. That Brighton defense holds stout performance.
Oh, that Brighton defense, they're good, but they had a little bit of help on that one.
Well, look, maybe.
All right, maybe not.
Well, look, everyone's favorite rule, this drive will start at the 22. How about that? I'm a little perplexed on that, truthfully, as Morzalewski here with the run, not much there.
Yeah, I don't think it should be started on the 22.
I thought it should have been at the 20.
But who knows? It's just a rule. Rules are meant to be broken, apparently. We don't follow them in this state sometimes.
That would mean they took over from the previous spot, which that would be a rule change that I was not aware of. I thought that was supposed to start at 20. It doesn't matter. It's 2 yards.
2 yards? 2 yards is 6 feet. That's more than my height. Come on, Dave.
Unless you were on stilts. Second and 10. Trips to the bottom. Morzalewski looking. Top side. Oh, he's going to tuck it. And, boy, he's taking some hits tonight, but able to get it up to the 29.
Man, my ears are ringing after that hit. Ooh.
Kind of ran into his own man and stagnated the run there a little bit, but did what he needed to. It's going to be 3rd and short.
I'd be kind of frustrated being at the tip of these trips tonight.
Alta again, boy, a lot of players inside of 5 yards there in the box, and now we've got end of the quarter. First quarter in the books, no score here at Alta High School. 0-0, Brighton Alta. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter. Dane Stewart, Moose Bingham with you. 0-0.
Sometimes the donut holes are good, especially Saturday morning, but Friday night, I don't like them very much.
Hey, it's only 7:27, man. This game's flying. Senior night here at Alta in week number 8. They honored seniors before the game, and it's crazy. Crazy to think we're hitting senior nights already, Moose. Feels like season just started.
Did you see my tweet today that I tweeted at you?
I did. Did you see my response?
Yeah, we're 1 week away from Thriller night.
No, it can start now, man.
Gosh. Oh.
People love it. People love it. Apparently. We got to do it.
There's only one Halloween dance.
Got to do it every week, man. Every week in October.
Adam's family stuff or something going. I don't know.
3rd and short here for the Bengals. Empty backfield once again. Alta, boy, they continue to bring pressure. Morzalewski looking up the seam, and it's caught. What a reception by Easton Smith as he takes it across the 50 to the 47.
That is throwing the ball up and getting an answer to a prayer right there. What a great job by Brighton, finding the open man and then continuing to spread out Alta's defense.
Look, that's going to make Morzalewski feel really good. You got a guy coming right at you, you get the ball away, and you throw it into coverage and complete it. Morzalewski up the middle, still on his feet. Now he's bursting outside. Morzalewski, tough to bring down inside the 30.
Oh, and a flag at the end of the play.
Yeah, they're going to say he was in the white, and then you tackle him. That's a call you see college NFL all the time being made.
Looking at this Morzalewski kid, are you sure his last name isn't Palmer? Is that Jake the Snake Palmer out there disappearing in the orange and blue?
He's got some work. He's got to grow the mullet if he wants to be, plumber.
Yeah, he does, but I've been impressed with his running ability. I've been impressed with his throw, all one of them. But
he's had a couple throws. I mean, he had the one down the sideline. He's trying to underthrow.
With one of them, though.
Oh, okay. Moose is tough to impress, so. Again, tacking on the penalty yards here. Going to bring Brighton inside the red zone after that penalty, down to the 13-yard line.
That's a brutal penalty at the end of the run for the Hawks. And Hawks in this region, they've got to pull out the W.
Yeah, I mean, they're 1-2 in region play. They're tied with 3 other teams, Highland and East. And, if you get a win over Brighton, that's huge for RPI. Also, launches you back up in those region standings. That's why this game's so critical, and yet on a senior night for Alta. But they need their defense to step up here. First down. Morzalewski, designed run for the quarterback. Morzalewski slipping through and upended inside the 10 to the 5-yard line, a gain of 8.
Morzalewski, hard to say, harder to tackle.
We got a lineman down here behind the play. It might be Benjamin Henriquez potentially. Is Brighton going to come out and look at him? We'll step aside, go to a commercial break. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. him back. You can see it was Enriquez being helped off the field here for Brighton. It looked like that might have been more severe. It's good to see him put some weight on that leg as you see him being helped off here.
That's a hard thing with football. It's a contact sport, and there's injuries that happen. And Brighton's definitely been bit by the injury bug. And with that young man, I mean, their whole game is running. Who knows if the second string is as good as he is.
Well, on the other hand, when you think about how much pressure Alta has brought tonight, that puts a lot of pressure on an offensive line. And so, that depth going to be tested for the Bengals as they have second and 2 at the 5. I formation, kept here by Marzalewski and brings it for a first down. Marzalewski to the 1.
Marzalewski, on the last big run he had, the cartwheel at the end, can we just say how athletic and aerobatic that was?
Designed. I'm sure he practiced that. Hey. Check this out, guys. First and goal. Marzalewski going to take it in. Touchdown, Brighton. It's the senior quarterback, Caden Marzalewski, with the first points of the game.
As he deserves them. I mean, he has been running up and down the field. He's got to have over 100 yards tonight already, it feels like. This Alta defense, though, they're going to tighten up. It's going to be interesting to watch. And now, one of our favorite snappers coming in, Johnson.
So, you ready for this?
Yes, I am.
He's the younger brother of one Jack Johnson.
Okay.
And, he's a very good long snapper because he's been credited with 4 passing touchdowns this year as a long snapper. How about that?
He's been credited with 4 passing touchdowns?
Hey, look, sometimes stats are hard, all right? There are some, yeah. So I talked, and I say that in jest, right? But I was talking with Mama and Papa Johnson before the game. Great family, by the way. Said, hey, just so you know, and we know this isn't you, but sometimes if you go look at stats, we've seen a couple times where Bodie's credited for a passing touchdown, but that he didn't actually throw it. And so I had to fit that in. I thought that's a great time to do it, right?
That was the one thing that hurt my heart. My sophomore year, I got into a varsity game, and there were 3 of us wearing number 39.
Yeah.
They didn't call my name. They didn't give me credit for the points. I'm like, gosh dang it. Why'd I even go out there?
Well, what you should have done is talk to your coach and be like, Coach, we can't have 3 39s, man. Got to help me out.
We had like 200 kids on the team. He's like, we don't have an option.
Well, do 39A or something.
Yeah. I'm Roman numeral 6.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
I tried.
Impressive drive for Brighton.
I was like, can I just get an emoji on my back? Little moose head.
They didn't have emojis back in your day, Moose.
Hey.
That's back with the colon parenthesis type thing, eh?
That actually was.
Yeah. We didn't have pretty little pictures.
Little winky face.
10:27 to go, 7-0 Bengals on the road. This kick fielded and returnable, taking from his own 3, looking for a lane and up to the 20-yard line. It's a late flag coming in on the play. A return by Afu.
May have been a little bit of excessive blocking, but let's see what the ref saw.
Of course, we mentioned Brighton undefeated in region play, 4-0. This boy looked like helmet-to-helmet contact there. It might have been the call, and that called on Alta, so this is going to back the Hawks up, be half the distance to the goal.
I really like that call. The white hat doing the shimmy, shimmy, shake. Really good call right there.
That's Bones, right? Bones there. But we talk about Brighton 4-0 in region play, West 3-0 in region play. They still have yet to play those two, obviously, undefeated in region. So, look, we talk about how big this game is for Alta. For Brighton, this is still region title. Like, got to win this game if you still want to be in the mix. As they'll go on the ground, the Hawks will here. Nice carry up the middle there on first down from Lonis.
Got almost all the yards back in first down. That's impressive.
And you saw kind of the burst he had once he gained that football. Boy, he was through the chute. A lot of momentum there being gained by Lonis on that carry. 2nd and 1. And zone read. Kempa going to take it. And nice job picking up the first down. Moving the chains here for Alta.
Kempa got the spin in, but all he had to do was get a yard, and he got about 4 right there. Great job by Kepa Numatolo.
Boy, and I just realized Anthony Cottis is not suited up tonight. The senior running back not padded up. He's on the sidelines for Alta. That's why we're seeing Lonis get so many carries tonight. We talked about Cottis earlier. I didn't realize that he wasn't on the field tonight for the Hawks.
That's a big loss.
That's a big loss. Kepa looking deep, had a man, just overthrew him. Boy, he had Asher Merrill, and they just couldn't quite connect.
It was right there. I like the catchable ball that Kepa's throwing, though. He's getting his guys where they're the only ones that can make the catch, or if they can't, it goes to the ground, and that's what you want.
Well, how about the touch on that, right? Like, that's a tough throw. You're trying to throw over the D. To your point, that's a very catchable ball. That's a good look. Second down. Kepa is thrown into the flat quickly. Here's Wyatt Johnson. Made one man miss as a pack of Bengals coming up. A gain of 6 there for the Hawks.
Is that a pack or is it a pride?
I don't know. Are Bengals pride?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We need our local zoologist to come on here once we get one.
Yeah. We'll call it a plethora of Bengals.
Ah, that's a good word.
Yeah. 3rd and 4.
Watch out for this trips at the bottom of the screen.
You like bunch?
I do like a bunch. Got a 3-on-2.
It appears though you have some numbers, but Brighton recognizing we don't like how this is looking. The Bengals gonna take a timeout. We'll take a quick break. Be back. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back. 3rd and short. Moose, if you're Alta, what are you looking for here?
Well, you got to find the mismatch, and that's what they found before Brighton called the timeout wisely.
We had a zoologist hit us up, so we'll get to that in a moment. You'll never guess what several Bengals were called. We'll just put it that way. 3rd and short here. Motion. Option. Lonis with room around the sideline and takes it up. First down for the Hawks up to the 46-yard line.
That was a great play, quick decision-making, quarterback getting the ball out of his hands. But Alta just found a good job doing that really, really quick.
I love that because you got motion running away from that. Opens up that option play. That's crafty play calling there from the Hawks.
And the defense getting that tackle. It was a one-on-one open field tackle.
Yeah,
those are tough.
That's saving a touchdown potentially there. First down. Motion again. Oh, throwback screen. Lonis has blockers with him. Looking up the sideline. Lonis inside the 40 to the 36. Out to that offense in rhythm now, Moose.
Oh, my goodness. They're finding out they like to attack the field side and go after them. They're finding some weaknesses in the defense, some cracks in the barricade, as you would say. But what an exciting time for Alta, finding their rhythm more than anything.
Yeah, approaching the midway point here in this second quarter.
A lot of unheralded stars that we weren't anticipating.
That's right. Oh, that snap just a little bit off. Able to be corralled by Kepa. Johnson tracked down there quickly. That ball came out, but he was down as Ofa in on the stop.
So I need to know, we've got zebras on the field, but we also have a pack.
Yeah. So, look, according to our research team and / zoologist, a group of Bengals is called a streak.
A streak?
A streak of Bengals.
That was going to be my second guess.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Next to pride.
I'm sure.
A streak of
A
Bengals.
streak of Bengals. I actually love it. Like, that's awesome.
I did not know that.
Kept by Kepa. Nice run. Yume Tulo taking it up. First down, Alta.
Kepa, I love his decision making. He saw the lane and he went on his scooter. It has some wheels going right there.
This is a big drive for Alta. Good response on this offensive possession. We talk about some of the youth. This is just a sophomore quarterback here for Alta and Niume Tolu.
The crazy thing is their backup's a junior.
Yeah.
Brighton's got 2 seniors sitting there ready to go. Alta does not.
Kepa will hand off on first down. Lonis brought down. A couple of Bengals there. Drew Morgan in on the stop, as was Caleb Miller.
Alta's got to get some points this drive just for momentum, just for happy feelings going into the half. But they've at least got to get the first down. They're going to want to try to bleed this clock a little bit so Brighton doesn't get another possession or two.
Well, that's the crazy thing. We could find ourselves at halftime with just 2 possessions each way. I mean, there have not been a lot of possessions in this game. That clock is just ticking away.
And I don't have a problem with that. That's a good thing tonight.
It'll be 3rd and short. 3rd and medium. 3rd and 5 here for the Hawks.
It has been so impressive. The staff Mateo has, the players that are here. It's really fun to watch this Alta team for sure.
3rd down. The 3-3-5 look here.
The 3-3-5. Bronco Mendenhall's favorite defense. Made famous by Ron Halbert on this field. Tough to go against, though.
Yep. Oh, they're bringing edge. Kepa coming near side. That broken up. Ooh. Boy, that's a heck of a play being made on the outside by Luke Reese.
Luke Reese is like, I don't care how tall the cornerbacks are on the other side. I can bat the ball away.
That was intended for Jager, and I love trying to attack that matchup because we've seen Jager. He's had some big games, some nice catches. But that's a heck of a play on the outside, and that will bring up a 4th down, and Alta here to come on to try a 37-yard field goal. Tried from 39 in the first, missed it, looking to atone for that. This kick up, hit much cleaner, and it's through. A 37-yard field goal. Good for Alta as the Hawks are on the board.
Happy day for Alta. Happy day to get some points on the board. You got to end each series with the foot of a kicker or punter touching that ball, and that's a successful series.
That's a big deal for Moose, and I like that little quip there, right? Like, you end with points, be productive, or, I mean, I guess a punt's okay, but just don't give it up, right?
No
like,
turnovers.
Control what you can control, right?
Yep, absolutely. Control the controllables. What a stoic saying.
That's right. That's right. We want to take a moment, just thank our sponsors here real quick. Want to remind you, although tonight feels beautiful outside, that winter weather's right around the corner. Get the coziest wearable sleeping bag you've ever tried at Igloo Outfitters. Worry no more about the weather. Watch your favorite team in comfort with Igloo Outfitters. That's IGLU. Go to igloooutfitters.com and enter Rewind for $20 off. Never miss the moments with Igloo Outfitters.
Pretty exciting game. Last time we were here, it was 6-7 going into the half. And now we got to see if Alta's defense can step it up.
And you know, if a 39-yarder's made, that's our score right now. We might be a curse here at Douglas Anderson Field, Moose. This
what a
kick
great kickoff
into the end zone. All right, Moose, what did you see from Brighton last drive that you liked? What would you expect here?
Well, I really liked how they were able to run the ball this whole time. And when you run and you lull the defensive backfield into a sense of security, you're able to take a couple strikes. And that was what was interesting to watch from Brighton. So you don't really know what's coming at you because they've shown that they can complete a deep ball every once in a while.
We'll see Morzalewski here once again. Boy, he's operated really clean tonight. Doesn't look like a first start for a young man.
No. Look how Alta's matched up man-to-man.
Look at how close everything is. No one deeper than 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. Morzalewski able to get through the line of scrimmage. First down for Caden, trying to drag defenders. He'll be stopped after a gain of 12.
That was really interesting. Alta's basically saying, we're going to go big on big. You can run, but we're going to stack this box.
Yeah. Really trying to force them out of that run game. But if you can pick up 12 with a stacked box, like,
that's amazing.
You can keep trying.
You almost want a little less Zalewski.
Yeah.
At this point
Hey. Punny there, Moose. Well done.
That's why I make the big bucks.
That's right.
Right there.
That kind of content doesn't come free. 1st and 10. Well, for you, our viewer, it does. Morzalewski, they're going to run it with him again. And that's good job there on the defensive side. Leading the way was Bennett Coaster, the sophomore linebacker.
Gable Fisa is like, I am done with this running. Come on. They're challenging him up front. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Lapuaho getting in there as well.
They've done a really nice job with the D-line of Alta tonight, Moose. The Brighton offensive line has.
Yeah. And Brighton, they did lose a guard this last series.
Yep.
So be aware of that, Brighton Bengal fans.
Empty again here for Morzalewski. He'll look to throw. Quick little hitch. That caught. Going to be a gain of about 4 on the reception there for Peters.
Man, Alta gave a big bubble that didn't quite burst right there. The defensive back did, Abe Jaeger. So that was interesting to watch right there. They really respect number 85.
2.5 to go here. 3rd and 3. And Caden looking to the sideline there for the call.
The clap isn't quite fooling anyone tonight, it seems.
Morzalewski going to run it. Oh, there's that defensive line. Oh, and Morzalewski going to take it for a first down. He was stacked up for no gain as Garrett Jessup came bursting through, but Caden would not be denied.
So I have never seen better drive from almost anyone than Morzalewski. I think Brighton just found a new little wrinkle in their offense.
This is crazy. How many runs have looked like they're locked up, and Caden has found a way to pick up 7, 10, 15 yards?
Honestly, like all of them at this point.
Wow.
Morzalewski, hard to say, harder to tackle, and he just disappears like a magician.
6'1", 190, but boy, he plays.
He
plays physical.
Britton Covey back there.
Caden. Oh, pressure from behind. Watch out. Did he step out?
Yeah, he definitely did.
Oh, he did not. They're going to rule that incomplete. That was close.
That's a debatable
Boy, that
call.
football, he's kind of up and around and all over with it, just trying to evade defenders.
He's like, I'm not used to being a quarterback. I'm trying my best out here, Bob.
2nd down coming up here. That clock stopped now with 1:14 left.
Man.
How well do you know the Brighton kicker, Moose?
Not as well as I'd like to, but I'd say he's good from 50 in.
Oh, and movement. Out to that pressure. That time maybe caught Brighton a little anxious as this will back the Bengal offense up.
I don't know if he's good enough to be good from 77, though.
Few are.
My farthest on this field is about 69.
That's your longest?
On this field. Not in a game, in practice.
Yeah.
There was a massive hurricane-type wind behind me. It was just one of those days where you're like, I'm kicking.
I'm going to see what I can do. 2nd and 15 here after the penalty. Keeper. Caden gets back to penalty yards, maybe an extra. And Alta letting that clock kind of trickle down here as we approach a minute. There's the timeout. Timeout taken. 1 minute to go here by that Alta D with 3rd down coming up. We'll step aside, catch a break here on the Rewind Sports Network.
As long as
3rd and 9 here for the Bengals. How aggressive are you here, Moose? 1 minute to go. You got the lead on the road. You aiming for the first down? You just run it and make an out the call. I think what would be their final timeout.
Honestly, I'm okay with doing probably a 10-yard throw or just running it, honestly. No one can tackle the quarterback.
I think I run it. With how well your D has played in this game, it's like, look, we can take a lead in the half. I run it, make out to take a timeout here.
Well, plus we've got the quarterback / long snapper. He's not going to mess up.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, with Morzalewski, we talk about the chunk runs he's had. Shoot, for all you know, this thing could go for 20.
No joke. And
Morzalewski going to be under center here on 3rd down.
Watch out for this attached tight end at the bottom.
I think that's Peters. Morzalewski, a little play action, 2-man route. Diamond one up deep, has a man just overshot. That's Nash Matheson, and a late flag coming in as Brighton's going to get a first down.
Nash Matheson, absolute dude. But that was a little ticky-tacky. I mean, if I were to name that a candy or a breath mint, it'd be a Tic Tac.
Look, Nash Matheson is a heck of a wide receiver. That one's not going to earn a lot of praise from the home fans. And a pass interference will give Brighton a first down with 53 seconds left and the chains to the 39-yard line.
Brighton went really heavy. They only sent 2 men on routes right there.
Yep.
Saying, we're going to throw this up. Nash, please come down
Little
with
deep
it.
scissors trying to get one-on-one, and you draw the flag.
Wow. Now,
that's a big call.
Downs. And you're at the 40.
Yeah, empty backfield here once again.
Look out for the quarterback runs.
They got Nash singled on the bottom of the screen here. They're trying for Matheson, and well, that's a nice job locking him up there by Jager.
Jager's sitting there. He's like, you're not getting the flag this time. Man. You're going to see a lot of passes out of here because there's only 48 seconds left. And it says 3 timeouts left for both teams, but
that's not accurate. I think Brighton has 1 more, and Alta might have 2 more. I don't remember if I saw Alta take another timeout in that first half. So Alta might have 2. I think Brighton has 1. But let's be honest, my memory's not good. So second down. Caden over the middle. Oh, boy, a big hit. But that ball was caught. And now a flag coming in on that hit as Chase Beams comes up with a heck of a catch in traffic. Will take it inside the 20 for the Bengals.
Wow. That flag, that's what's killed Alta's red zone defense. They've gotten 2 personal fouls in the red zone.
And that's one where, my opinion,
hey,
in the new age of football, that gets called 90% of the time, I believe.
I think it's a little bit higher if you ask me.
Yep. It's
as
not
a 100%er.
It gets called very common. Now, the officials here are still conversing, and neither team has really given up position. So, look, we like to speculate because that's what we do. We'll see whether that's got any merit to it.
Personal
and there
foul.
it is. Yep.
Are you losing a player in high school on that one?
No. That doesn't happen in high school.
Okay, I'm just letting our audience know that he's used to watching college football.
So, he just gave an indication like there was – did he just say that was incomplete? Our Y-Hat gave an indication like it might have been incomplete, and Brighton was shocked by it. I thought the catch was made. Regardless if it's going to be a penalty, it'd be from the previous spot. So, I think it'd be a 5th. You'd rather take the yards plus half the distance, and I think that's what the discussion is. Was the catch made, or is this just a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot?
Casey Soter is looking for some explanation.
Yeah, so it was an incomplete pass was the ruling. It is going to be a personal foul. So 15 yards from the previous spot, so it'll be to the 24-yard line after that ruled incompletion with the penalty.
24-yard line, 42 seconds to go.
That's very doable.
You've got tons of time, even if you want to run.
Yep.
And not 3 timeouts.
So first down for the Bengals as they're knocking on the doorstep of that red zone.
Taking their time. Maybe you get 2 play calls in there.
You get you like that?
Yeah. Maybe a long pass play and then a quick strike run right after.
First down. Matheson again singled out. They go for it. Matheson. And just lost it. Boy made an A for effort as he dove into the end zone, but the ground jarred it loose, incomplete.
This isn't horseshoes or hand grenades.
That's
it's
right.
either a catch or not. And that was a heck of an effort, but not a catch.
It was a heck of an effort. And look, Jager made that really difficult. I mean, they're locked up, and Matheson was able to get around, but that physicality on the outside made it a really tough grab for Matheson.
This has been such a great matchup with Jager and Matheson. The cool thing about 5A this year, it's wide open. I don't know who's
It's very competitive.
Everyone's about the same. You're like, I don't know. Alta could be at the turf this year, and it wouldn't surprise me.
There's a lot of teams that could put together a run in 5A. It's just, that's how it's structured. I love it. It's going to be a blast. Caden sidestepping, throws into the flat. That's Peters taken out of bounds after a gain of about 6. That'll stop the clock with 27 seconds.
Oh, there's a flag.
And I didn't see that, Moose. I mean, I saw the flag, but I didn't see the play.
Someone may have said something audible.
No, I actually gave an indication like an ineligible man downfield.
Oh. I like my explanation better. But we'll see.
They just waved it off.
Okay. Something you do in the Renaissance and on the football field at Alta tonight, apparently.
Well, and sometimes people do it for a fair catch indication. They just aren't holding a yellow hanky when they do it, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So it'll be third down here for the Bengals. The ball's to the 19. How about this drive?
Yeah, really impressive.
Had 2nd and 15. Obviously the penalty helped, but they've navigated it really well.
You want to at least get a field goal and make it a touchdown possession game here.
Right. Third down. Morzalewski has a tailback with him. They'll hand off, trying to surge ahead. They're stopped short. Going to be a yard short here, and that clock ticking away. We're inside 20. And to your point, Moose, I think you probably get a final timeout with seconds to go and bring on the field goal unit. No.
They're going
Fourth down, and the offense on the field here. The clock's it down to 7. And movement instead. It comes back to bite him with 2 seconds to go. So now I think you probably kick that field goal. Well, we'll see. We'll see how much confidence they have in their kicking game. And instead it will be a timeout. Brighton going to take a timeout first. We're going to take it with them. Final play of the first half when we come back. Welcome back. Last play of the half pending a penalty. 37-yard field goal try here for the Bengals as they try to go up by 3.
Alta looks like they're bringing some pressure on this kick.
They do. They bring it. The kick is up. It's got the leg, and it is good. So Brighton scoring on the last drive of the half, 10-3. Your score as we are at the break. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann Associates and brought to you by Odeon. Moose, what a first half. 10-3, not really high scoring, but boy, the level of play we saw, really competitive.
I've been really excited to watch this Brighton team, this Alta team. It's been amazing to see everything that's going on in these players, and I've really been impressed with Brighton's quarterback. He's an absolute stud, getting everything done on the ground and through the air.
You know, we talked about you don't have Jack Johnson, a future FCS quarterback, and Caden Morzalewski, to your point, he's done a fantastic job tonight stepping in. The run game's looked really good. He's made timely throws when he's needed to. But for me, the thing that stood out has been this Brighton defense, because we've seen this Alta offense. It can put up points. They've done a really nice job of not letting anything beat them down the field, even in the run game.
Yeah, what I'm really concerned about and what we need to watch out for this next half is the red zone. Alta in the red zone, they've made a field goal, they've missed a field goal, but they've got to turn those field goals into touchdowns. Brighton, on the other hand, when they get into the red zone, they've been able to convert, and Alta's had some mental errors as well.
Moose.
So I'm excited to see what happens in this second half, especially in the red zone. That's what's going to make the difference in this game.
Alta will start with the ball to start the second half. If you're a Hawk coach, what adjustments would you look to make here in the second half for Alta?
Honestly, I think they're doing good. They need to load the box a little bit more, and I would air the ball out if I was Alta. Kepa has a great arm, a couple dropped balls, but overall I've been impressed with him.
We'll see if that's indeed what they'll do as we get ready to get going here. The Alta students, military night, they're camoed. You can barely even see them as Brighton here will kick things off. And our second half underway as this ball angled but returnable, fielded at the 2. Alta across the field, good return, set up, and that ball came out. It was fumbled, but Alta able to get on it. The Hawks will retain possession.
Alta deferring the first half, coming out the second half. This is what they want, a one-possession game to get back in the board and make this really competitive. Last time we were here, we saw them score like 28 unanswered points.
Yeah.
In the second half.
Well, here's the thing, and the reason why I talk about the Brighton offense, Moose, this is crazy. Alta's 4-3 on the season. They've played 7 games. Only one game have they been held under 27 points.
Wow.
And that was against East. So we talk about how much scoring power there is on this Alta offense. they're used to having a lot more success. We'll see if they can find it here in half number 2. Kepa looking. Here's a little quick screen. Good blocking as McKay brings it up to the 35. They say he was down. No fumble there.
Alta has found a lot of success on the edges, and we anticipate them to keep attacking the edges. They found their rhythm. They found their rhymes. But at this point, we want to see them attacking the edges a little bit more to open up the middle for those quick strikes.
I move the chains, and look, I like that. We talk about Brighton coming into this game. It was kind of run to help get settled. You go, that's an easy throw, and it helps Kepa get dialed in here for half number 2. Love the way they started. Motion here from Merrill. They'll go back to the ground. This is Lohner, and taking this ahead for a gain of about 4.
Getting 4 yards on that first down against this Brighton defense is impressive. Brighton, they've got a ferocious defense, but they're not huge by any stretch of the imagination.
I said Lohner. It's Lonis. My apologies, Lonis there with the carry. That's, sometimes the mind just reverts back, right? Associations, they can be tough.
Next, we're going to be hearing Loomis.
Yeah,
all sorts of different names.
Hey, the sky's the limit. Second down. Kepa. Eyes down the field. Finds a man, but can't bring it in. A penalty flag here back behind the play. But, boy, that's one that Alta would love to have another opportunity at. The holding here would have brought it back anyway.
Kepa keeping his eyes downfield and actually delivering a catchable ball. That's what's been killing him, the drops. You love to hear the beat drop. You hate to see the ball drop.
Yeah, again, the holding penalty, it wouldn't have mattered.
Absolutely.
But even just for a confidence thing, right? Because penalty or no penalty, you still get a result of a play, and that can sit with a player or with an offense, right?
Yeah, just say, hey, get it back to me. I've got your back.
I talked about this at work today. One of my favorite movie quotes from For the Love of the Game, and the concept of clear the mechanism. Sometimes just forget the last play, right? Move on.
That's a new one for me.
It's a good one. Check it out. For the Love of the Game. Okay. Kevin Costner, Kelly Preston, it's worth the time. Into the flat. That caught, taken down immediately. How about that close? This Brighton defense moves. They fly around as Luce Reese with the tackle.
Luke Reese is one kid that I would avoid in a dark alley, on the street, but especially on the football field. That kid comes with some bad intentions.
That was Jackson Twala with the reception, the sophomore. First time we've called his name tonight.
Jackson Twala has more offers on the field than almost anyone.
He's got a bright future. Just a sophomore, 6'3", 173. 3rd and long. Brighton drop in zone look here. Going to try deep. Has a man down the sideline. And it's caught. A 3rd and long. And Alta able to go vertical. It's Jager with the reception. And a flag here behind the play. They might get extra yardage.
That personal foul. Roughing the passer. Wow. This is how Alta wanted to start the second half off. But that is a huge play right there. I was really impressed with Kepa staying in the pocket, delivering the ball, taking the hit, and getting an extra 15 yards. Elite play from the 15-year-old.
You talked about air it out, right? Try to get this offense going. They do it on 3rd and long, and the penalty will take this all the way down inside the 20 to the 16-yard line is where Alta will have first down.
Wow. What a great play by Kepa and by Abe Jager as well.
This Alta offense, they've not been in the red zone much tonight, just I think the one drive. See if they can finish this one off. Pressure coming. Kepa. And his man had turned upfield. That was Twala. Kepa didn't have a lot of time. That Brighton defense was in the backfield quickly.
There was a little miscommunication there, but this is where Alta needs to be successful, the red zone.
Yes.
On both offense and defense, Brighton has been able to be successful in the red zone where Alta has not.
Yeah, and you're right, just real quickly, at least 2 times in the red zone because to your point, had a field goal made, a field goal missed, as getting a little clock clarity here. I think 9:11 was the indication there from our back judge, the time he wanted on the clock. It looks like that's good to go.
I always laugh. I see the TVs down here on the sideline. I know for a fact I would probably be watching my field goals after on the TV.
Look, I can confirm they're not watching Utah on the field. That's not happening. BYU's not down there either. They'll run it on second down. Good carry here from Lonis, taking up about 6.
Lonis has been a revelation, getting down and getting those dirty yards.
He's been really strong tonight. Again, Cottis not suited up tonight for the Hawks, and so it's been Lonis that's had to carry that ground game with Kepa.
Alta finding some success on the ground.
3rd and 4 here for the Hawks. It's Tuala across the formation. Is Kepa going to come back? Check with me here. Plenty of time on the play clock. Third down. Kepa, quick read, and that ball was thrown behind Tuala, incomplete, and a decision here for Alta. You kick it, Moose?
I want to say yes, but I don't think they're going to.
It would be a 28-yarder. Offense looking like it's staying on the field here. 4th and 4 for Alta. And the offense on the field.
Clock is running down, though. 17, 16, 15.
Plenty of time here. Kepa looking on 4th down, going to take it and run it, trying to get outside. And the stretch, I don't think he got it. I think it's a yard short. The Brighton D does as well. And the indication from our officials,
there is a Bengal down.
There is a Bengal down, and it looks like, they turn it over on downs, but an injury here. We'll step aside for the injury timeout. You're watching the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Welcome back. You see the injured player there for Brighton. Certainly hope he's okay as they'll take a look on the sideline. So the Brighton offense starting at their own 7-yard line. First down after that defense comes up with a big stop. I formation. They try to surge ahead. They'll pick up a couple.
Alta defense, they've already had a pick. They've had turnovers. They've been...
A pick?
Yeah.
Alta?
Yeah, Alta had a pick in the first half.
Oh, they did. Yeah. Garrett Jessup. I had to look at my notes.
What game are you watching? But Alta's been pretty fortuitous in finding explosive plays. They got to stop this Brighton offense because Brighton's just looking to run the clock out, to be honest with you.
It's been great clock management. And, without that, the way they move the football, obviously a big play on that 3rd and long, but I feel like there's some confidence there on that Alta offensive sideline. If they can get it back, they'll keep it on the ground here, Moose. You talked about that. It was a nice run up that left side there from Mason Hurdle.
Absolutely massive 3rd down right here for Brighton. And they're going to take their time to figure out what to do.
No reason to rush it right now. You got a lead on the road.
Not a big lead, but it is a lead.
It's a lead. And look, here's the thing. Moose, you talk about red zone. Your defense has made stops tonight.
I mean, it's been incredible. Casey Satera, coming from Corner Canyon, he puts an emphasis on red zone. And it's like watching almost a Lone Peak defense tonight.
3rd down, play action. Oh, and he goes down. That ball came out. Ball's on the turf, and Brighton able to get on it inside their own 5. That Alta defense, boy, they can make some plays.
Oh, my goodness. That was a great play by number 5, Calvin Lava. But, wow, just coming around the edge, getting the sack, getting the ball separated. That is huge TFL right there in sack. And what's interesting, the punter is going to be at about 12 yards from the snap. So that messes a lot of things up. And this is where Alta really needs to come after. They've got 2 returners back, but someone's got to be going after this puncher because he's got to be a yard off the back of that end zone or he's going to get a safety.
4th and 15 Peters punting from the shadow of his end zone, and this one gotten away, but Alta's going to have a great field position. That hit an Alta player and able to get on it, but Alta will start at the 35. Good field position for this Hawk drive.
Yeah, starting from the 35 is always a happy day, no matter what's going on. But I think they could have brought a little more pressure. As a punter, you're taught to just have your left foot forward, jab, and punt. Get that ball out of there, because there's nothing worse than taking a safety as a punter. You never like to get hit. You like to keep that jersey real clean as a punter and a kicker.
Short field here for Kepa. This is a big drive for Alta. Let's see if they can capitalize on it. 5:39 here in the third.
I think you're going to see number 8, Matt McKay, make an appearance here. Wow!
Well, tell you what, Brighton was ready for that run as Braxton came bursting through to make the TFL.
Wow, Braxton Morozowski. Holy Hannah. That was a play. May have been a misread by the offensive line.
Yeah.
But right there, if you're running back, just hold on to the ball, Petey. Hold on.
Second down and 13 here for the Hawks. Kepa, trying to set up the screen. Look out. Lonis down the sideline. Lonis inside the 20 to the 10. 5, strike up the band. Touchdown, Alta.
Wow. Perfect play call. Perfect execution. Brighton was not ready for that man wall coming down the sideline, attacking the field side per usual. And what a great play call. What a great execution by the Alta Hawks on that one. Alta evening up changes the whole dynamic of this game if this PAT goes through the pipes.
So, point after, chance here to tie it up for Alta. This kick up, and it is good. 10 apiece. The Alta Hawk offense with the 38-yard touchdown pass on the screen.
Just incredible. That screen has worked wonders for Alta tonight. Yep. They haven't done good in the red zone, but sometimes you don't need to be in the red zone if you have a perfectly executed screen pass.
Hey, look, we saw a chunk play on that first possession, and then a chunk play here on this possession. Chunk plays for Alta this second half starting to appear.
Man, those chunk plays are what make or break games.
Yes.
And it feels like the momentum is all in Alta's favor now. No longer a tie game. It's a tie game now, and no longer a one possession.
And what you've done is you now, for the first time, have put some pressure on that Brighton offense, who's been able to control the clock, control possession, and now you get a couple of big plays, and you capitalize off of one of them. Now it's like, okay, Brighton, you got to move the football, right? You got to go score. Can't just run, time off the clock. You got to find a way to get points on.
Yeah, that's what Alta needed, that break.
It's huge.
Getting the ball back. And they were lucky on that punt return, securing the ball as well.
This kick will go into the end zone for the touchback. Full moon here at Alta High School as it's just appearing over the invisible mountains. Of course, the darkness setting in here in Sandy, but boy, that moon, it sure looks crisp tonight as it rises here on our last Friday night of September.
This is a full moon rising. Is there a moon rising at the Utah game?
No.
Nope, no, Cam.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Sad.
Yeah, sorry. So the Brighton offense starting at their own 20.
What I love about Alta, it feels like every Friday night in the fall, there's no wind. I don't know what happens at this field, but it was like magical. It'd be torrential wind on Thursdays, and then Friday night, it's like, oh, another nice night. Great.
How about, shotgun here. They'll keep it. As Alta, they're starting to get attuned to this game plan. Morzalewski able to get back to the line, maybe pick up one.
Alta is doing a really good job. What we've noticed about Alta is they're really a second half team. We watched it against Westlake. We're seeing it against Brighton right now. And this will take this region and flip it onto his head if Alta can get a win tonight.
It would potentially pave the path for West.
When is the last time West won a region title?
Well, I think last year.
Okay, last
but
year.
But that was
before that.
It was in Region 2,
that.
and, anyway. Penalty flag coming in on the play. The Brighton staff atop the press box was attuned to that. And, boy, you're going to get a late flag here on the contact near the sideline. And so the holding penalty looks to be the one. And then the sideline penalty will, maybe lose some of the benefit of that.
Oh, man. You got to slow yourself down, but that Brighton quarterback did a great job selling that late hit as well.
Did you know where I did my internship for
I
in
have
college?
no idea.
Schwann's.
Okay,
I did a college internship for Schwann's, the ice cream people, frozen food, all that, right?
Okay, Schwann's ice cream people. Now I'm following you.
You know what I'm talking about, the yellow trucks?
Yeah, they've got the swan on the side.
Yes, they do.
Swans.
So there was an old saying that we were preached to.
Okay.
Sell the sizzle, right? Sell the sizzle. And on that play, if you feel contact on the sideline, you sell the sizzle on that puppy, and you let them know, hey, man. And I think sometimes we see that. And, soccer's very good at selling the sizzle, right?
That is true.
Basketball's very good at selling the sizzle. Sometimes you sell the sizzle on the gridiron.
I've sold it a couple times. I remember one time in particular, I hit a 30-yard field goal, and I missed. But the ball was high enough that the refs were looking at each other confused. So I threw up the "it's good," and they looked at me and they're like, "I guess it's good."
How about that, Moose? You got a little salesman in him, huh?
I am a salesman every once in a while.
So what's happening? One's a dead ball, so you mark off the holding, then you mark off the dead ball penalty. It'll end up being a 5-yard difference.
Okie dokie.
In the net.
Man. So after all that, you get 5 yards? Is it a first down, though?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because I think they got rid of automatic first downs. So it used to be personal fouls, dead balls, you'd have automatic first downs. I think they got rid of that maybe 2 years ago to where it's not just straight yardage based.
Now it's straight yardage based. Got it. Okay. Learn something new every time.
Of course, officials here still trying to get the mark correct. There we go. I think there was some confusion. I think Coach Cetera wanted to make certain he understood where things were. And, yeah, it looks like this is going to be the case. So take off the 10, tack on the 15, ends up being a gain of 5 off of what was 2nd and 9. And
repeat the down?
There you go. Yes, because
okay.
I think because the holding, I believe, is a repeat.
Okay.
So 2nd and 4.
Well,
Alta showing pressure here again. They've been aggressive defensively. Morzalewski won't get out of that one. Alta, they saw that pressure coming. It was Jackson DeMille, the middle linebacker, coming up to make the stop.
Oh my gosh. I just saw one of the funniest signs I've ever seen.
Okay.
It said, "I kiss number 26" by a young lady. Good for you, Tiago.
Hey.
Congratulations, young man.
Had a kid. Our 3rd and 5 here.
Big 3rd down coming up. And Alta's got a beat on the run. Brighton's going to have to pass to open this up.
Yep. We saw them trying to do it in the first half, but Brighton was able to run through it with success. That has not been the case here in our 3rd quarter. Pressure around the edge. Morzalewski able to slither out of it. Under pressure still. Eyes down the field. Gets it away. That is caught by Peters, and he's going to be, I think he's got it.
Wow.
Yes, he does. How about that
Peters is
grab?
one of the most elusive tight ends in the entire state. Great H-back. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Mason Wake. And he does a lot of good things.
Here's the thing. He's a true tight end. You see a lot of tight ends that are lined up in the slot, right?
Yeah.
No, this guy's on the line of scrimmage. Like, he's a true tight end.
You've got a couple of them this year. There's a kid at American Fork as well that I really like. There's a couple tight ends where you're like, bring on the beef.
And just as I say that, he's to the top of the trips here on first down because
absolutely that would happen.
That's what we do. They'll run on first. Kept here by Morzalewski. Oh, he wanted to go to that backside. Alta there to snuff it out, a gain of 3.
Alta's learning from Morzalewski. It's not just the first hit and he's down. It's the 4th hit and then he finally goes down.
That clock nearing 2 to play. So, look, Brighton still playing possession, still playing that clock. They're kind of getting back to what they did in the first half, as this drive is what we've seen from Brighton tonight. Maximize your possessions and let it tick away. Like sands through the hourglass, so's the third quarter of our lives.
All right.
The 2nd and 7. Morzalewski, quick throw. Peters caught, first down, out of bounds at the 45. You know what that's from?
I have no idea.
I think it's Days of Our Lives, right? The old opening, Days of Our Lives. Soap opera? No?
I watch telenovelas.
All right.
Just kidding.
My mom was a Young and the Restless fan, not a Days of Our Lives, but, you know, it's a timeless. Like sounds through the hourglass, so are the Days of Our Lives.
Wow. Well, learn something new every day.
Yeah. First down.
That Peters connection is starting to get stronger.
It's finding
on each
itself.
possession.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Lined up as a tight end here off the line. Peters blocking on this play. Morzalewski still on it. Looking down the sideline for Matheson and just try to get rid of that one. Not a bad decision.
It's interesting. You hear half the crowd saying it's an offensive hold, and then you hear the other half, that's a defensive holding. And on that one, I agree with the refs. Good job, refs. I don't say it often, but good no calls.
You know, there's an old adage, there's holding on every play. So everyone's right. Everyone's right.
Yeah, in this society, it seems that way. Everyone's special. Everyone's right.
2nd down. Option play. Caden tried to keep it, and he's brought down. Boy, that's a great read by Tony Vainuku.
Tony, that was an incredible read. I got faked out. I almost jumped to the pitch man right there, but great job by Mr. Vainuku.
And that brings up a 3rd and 9 here for Brighton.
Man, sands of times ticking away. Didn't quite get that saying, but that's okay.
We're inside of a minute. And so Brighton's taken off the back half of this third quarter. A conversion here would help this Bengals side. Morzalewski looking on the flag route, and receivers got bottled up there. No call as they ran that deep scissors again, but it was teammates that took it away from each other.
You can point, you can hoot, you can holler, but if it's your teammate, you better just walk it off.
Yep. And that's indeed what Brighton will do as Peters comes on here to punt.
I really can't believe how fast this game's going.
It's flying,
played many games here where I'd look up and the moon was so far in the sky. I'm like, let's just camp out on the field. We're going to have to be back here at 6 a.m. tomorrow anyways.
Yeah. 4th and 9. At Alta D getting another stop here. Kicks away from Peters, angled, and no return here from Alta as it's into the bench. I want to take a moment and thank our sponsors here on KSL Sports Rewind. Without them, coverage not possible. I want to thank Advanced Windows running their fall window sale right now. You can get $2,000 off 10 windows or more, plus 60% zero interest financing available. This is a limited time only special at Advanced Windows. Give them a call, 801-850-9100, or go to advancedwindowsusa.com. Alta starting at their own 29. Kepa looking near side, had a man, and that's caught and out of bounds. Boy, I thought maybe a little late leverage there, but the catch is made by Brian Weber.
Brian Weber stiff-arming before the ball is there, which, if it gets called, it gets called, but he's like, I need the ball in my hands.
I'll tell you, man, there's no tougher position than corner. You can't win as a corner.
He's like, I didn't touch him. I know the receiver touched you.
Alta in business. That snap on the turf. Kepa able to regain, trying to get the edge, and he's got it. Kepa upfield and turns what could have been disaster into a 1-yard gain.
That was the most hard-fought 1 yard I've seen in a minute.
Yeah.
That was almost 6 the other way.
Wow. And the clock ticking down. That could do it for our third quarter as we're down to 10. And looks like that will be the case. Third quarter complete. It is 10-10. Brighton, Alta locked up through 3 on KSLSports.com. Oh, we're 3/4 of the way there.
We're more than halfway for sure.
It's a great song for halftime. Third quarter, maybe a little tardy. Anyway,
got to get that remix.
Bon Jovi in a stadium on a Friday night just feels right.
America. That's all I have to say to that.
Start of the fourth, 2nd and 9 here for the Hawks. As Kepa keeping this, trying to work to the edge, stood up there. Nice pursuit off the edge there from Dylan Thomas.
That was honestly the right read by Kepa.
Yep.
And sometimes you just get a yard, and that's all right. But this brings up a massive 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and 9. Alta could take their first lead of the game on this possession.
They absolutely could. Would not be surprising.
Umetolu, eyes down the field. A lot of time. And that one caught by Jager. Jager spins off a receiver. And on 3rd down, it's Jager with the reception down to the 12.
What I loved about that, the O-line blocking was elite to start out with. Kepa sat there. He looked for his read. He looked at his second, and then he got to his 3rd. Abe Jager came in, found the soft spot in the zone, and I would be screaming my head off. I was like, look at 4, look at 4, look at 4. And finally, he saw what I saw. But it's easier to see it from up here.
It is a lot easier to see it from up here. Kepa saw it from down there, and when you got that kind of time, and look, Brighton dropped a lot of guys in coverage. You get it, but man, you can only cover for so long.
Yeah, for sure.
1st down, it's Slowness looking up the middle, inside the 10 to the 7.
That's a tough run on 1st down, getting 4 or 5 right there.
Boy, that offensive line, look at them. They're ready to go. Like, hey, come on.
Like,
we're feeling it.
Let's run.
We're feeling it. Keep it going.
They like the contact.
Umetolu. Hands off. Room up the middle. Lonis lowering the pads. And is he in?
Short.
No, just short.
Oh.
Just short. It'll be 3rd and inches.
3rd and short.
Oh, they're bringing in that heavy
short.
package.
You better believe it.
Oh, my goodness.
I haven't seen a defense stop this look yet.
1st down and a yard.
1st and inches, and you got the heavies of the heavies in here for Alta.
I'm getting heavier just watching it.
It's McKay under center, pushing ahead. Waiting. Strike up the band. Touchdown, Alta.
Oh, a little worrisome there for a minute. But finally got the call. So Matt McKay coming in and getting the touchdown. I like how he's listed as an athlete now in our program.
Yep, that got changed.
They're like, yeah, he's our quarterback, athlete, does everything, and just a great kid.
I'm going to start calling him Peter Pan. He can throw, he can catch, and he can run.
And he can crow, I hear.
This kick up and good. 17-10. The Hawks taking their first lead of the game on KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Welcome back. Boy, what a second half for Alta. Offense was kind of locked up. We've seen some big plays. They had a drive left unconverted. They could very easily be 3 for 3 on their possessions here in the second half.
Yeah, that is an amazing response by Alta. Going into the half, down by 7 and now up by 7. Just the teeter-totter of emotions going on this sideline over here at Alta High School.
And again, you're a yard away from having first and goal on the third drive that they didn't score off of. So that offense, it's found its rhythm here in this second half on senior night. Brighton starting at their own 20. Moose, I asked you the question at the start of the half. We're essentially early in the fourth quarter. What do you got to do for this Brighton offense now to get a response?
You got to get the passing game going. The one explosive play of the last half was a big pass. Alta, impressively, is not making the mental errors they made in the first half. They're not getting as many penalties and helping Brighton out. But this Brighton, it's a senior-laden team with great coaching. So don't count them out yet.
1st and 10. Morzalewski going to keep this. First down run. Caden stretching ahead. He'll pick up 4.
This Alta defense is really keying on the quarterback at this point.
Yeah.
They're saying, hey, we're ready to go after it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, coming into this game, their leading rusher out of the backfield was Hartle, the 6'1", 190 junior. He only ran for 340 yards through 7 games. So they haven't featured a lot of guys because I've got them only with, 80 carries. And so, when your starting quarterback goes out, it's like, hey, how do you get that run game going? And they have relied on Caden a lot tonight to do that. They'll go on the ground here once again on 2nd down. That's a nice carry. We'll set up a 3rd and short here for the Bengals.
When you have Jack Johnson, you don't need to run the ball very often.
Well, and he can run the football, but really it's his arm, right? But that's how they've been moving the football largely this year. And now it's like, all right, we got option B. Pressure being shown by Alta.
The clap didn't work.
3rd and 2. They got to get to the 30. Time on the play clock here still. Down to 10. Option again. The pitch. Trying to get outside. First down, Brighton. Boy, that's a good run as LaFleur recognized where he had to get to and picks it up +2.
You love to see LaFleur make that read. You like to see the quarterback make the read. You love to see LaFleur take it and get there as well.
Can I ask you a crazy question?
You can.
In Brighton's mind, is this the last drive of the game?
That is not a crazy question, and the regular answer is yes.
They got this with 9:11 to go. They've taken off 2 minutes to get 1 first down. And that ball on the turf! Brighton lost it! A fumble, and I think Alta has it. The sideline thinks Alta has it.
So
as we unpile it, waiting for a call still. The Hawks come away with it, and they have it! Alta football!
And of course, it's Lava'a coming in, doing what he does. He's done so many good things tonight.
Leava'a has been a problem for this Brighton offense. That's a self-inflicted error for the Bengals, and Alta able to jump on it.
The crazy thing is, both of these teams, they've played so hard, and they have such rich history as well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one position you can find on either team that hasn't either played college or in the NFL.
26-yard line, first down.
You want to know the crazy thing?
Yes.
Well, we'll get back to that. First down, Alta. Kepa running out of time, running out of space, and throws that incomplete. Probably better it wasn't caught there. Look, we talk about this rivalry. It exists in a lot of sports, Brighton Alta, and Brighton holds the advantage all the time, 21-19. But this is the first time they've played in football since 2018. Brighton hasn't won a game in this series since 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
I regretfully have to say that they did beat us my senior year.
14 was your senior year?
10.
Oh, 10. That's right. This one taken up close to a first down, out of bounds.
Brighton that year had Ricky Hemuli, but they've had so many good players go through here.
They have.
I mean,
you think about the teens.
oh my goodness. They've had 5-star linebackers.
Yeah.
They've had the Kafusi brothers. And what's interesting is the Kafusi dad of those brothers is actually at Alta now.
Wow. This might be a must stop on third down here for Brighton. 6:40 to go.
It absolutely is. So many talented players on both of these teams.
3rd and 1. Alta on the ground. It's Kepa. First down and more as he'll slide and move the sticks for the Hawks.
I mean, you think of the Messinas, you think of the Kills,
Yep,
you think
yep.
of all of these players, and Alta is doing really good.
Well,
and
The Bartons.
The Bartons, oh,
Right?
yeah.
Just
the Bartons.
Just NFL guys,
Oh,
no
forgot
big
about
deal.
The Bartons, Moose. Freaking gosh. My bad. I apologize to Jackson and Lander and all the Bartons. Just the Bartons.
Just the Bartons. Approaching the midway point here in our 4th. Alta on the ground again. Lonis, boy, he's been a beast tonight, Moose.
Alta taking the clock down themselves over here.
Yes.
They're saying we can end the game as well.
Exactly, right? Hey, we can play this same game.
You want
We
us
got
to
the
sustain
lead.
a drive? Okay.
We can do that.
Brighton has been bit by the injury bug as of late,
Yeah,
though.
they have.
It's been rough for them.
And here's the thing, and this is where, like, I don't really love that every team makes the playoffs, but, I was talking with people before the game. It's like, look, every team makes the playoffs, so get healthy for the playoffs, and it can all work itself out, right? Like, season's not lost. They'll stay on the ground. Lonis ahead, Chernin to the 3.
I like that every team makes the playoffs except for like the first round. That's rough. Because like you've got like a Corner Canyon type school versus like a Hillcrest.
Right.
And you're like,
right.
What are we doing here?
No, I know.
That's a little rough.
That's why I'm not a fan of it.
But I hate it when you have a region like this, Region 5, and it's like only 4 teams
Only 4
can
get to
make
play.
it.
Right,
That's
because
not
let's
as
talk
good.
about this region. Brighton, West, Olympus, East, Alta. That's 5, right? One of those teams would be out. And just so you know, East may have beaten Brighton last week. Like,
What?
Alta surging ahead, looking for the goal line. Going to be short. Like, those are 5 really good teams.
5 teams that I wouldn't be surprised if 4 of them made it to the turf.
Easily. You could justify 4 of those easily, right?
I don't know who the 5th would be.
Well,
That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the type of programs that are in the state this year in 5A. And there's not disparity between them.
Alta looking at a 1st and goal here from the 1. See if they go heavy here once again. McKay on the field. Looks like that will be the case. We haven't seen a Lapuahu touchdown. Do we get it here, Moose?
That's all I'm here for, but he danced too hard last time he got a touchdown.
McKay going to keep it. Trying to be pulled out of that end zone. He's close. Going to be short. And all it's doing is taking more time off that clock.
The Brighton defense is like, 77's pushing him. That's his job. It's the Reggie Bush push from the back, but we call it the Lapuaho lunge here
It's
at
always
Alta.
been legal.
I know. There's always something to complain about, though. You know that.
We'll call it the Lapuahu
Lunge.
Lop. No? Lunge? I'm good with lunge. And Alta looks like they may be taking a timeout. Maybe. Maybe not.
They're just waiting until about 10 seconds, and they're going to run up. Or not.
Well, yeah, I think we might get a timeout. They're going to let this thing trickle down. Could be inside of 3 minutes. And they'll stop it at 2:59. Timeout, Alta. We'll be back with 3rd and goal after this. 3rd and short. Moose, any question what's coming here?
I think it's going to be a heavy package.
The Lapuahu lunge. Of course, McKay has had the ball on the Lapuahu lunge. That's my only thing with the Lapuahu lunge.
I'm just waiting for them to pitch it to Lapuaho, have him get a rollout and a pass.
They did it when we were here in week 2 or 3.
I loved it, but I said we can't let this big man dance anymore.
Well, they got penalized for it. 3rd and goal for Alta from the 1. McKay lunging, strike up the band, touchdown Alta.
The Lapuaho runs performed by McKay. But that's a big touchdown. Brighton's controlled the clock. They've done what they needed to. They could not give up the ball, and that's what happened on that last drive from Brighton. They're going to have to go for quick strikes.
It's a 20-0 second half run here from the Alta Hawks and a chance to make it 21.
And that was some elite play, like not getting the touchdown, bleeding the clock out. It's like they almost planned that out.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we were talking about, is this going to be the last drive of the game for Brighton? Alta just took 4.5 minutes off that clock as it's 24-10. And Alta positioned to pick up a big region win here at home.
Oh, be careful on those side bumps. Don't do that.
You know, that's where, for me, I love the celebration. I'm not celebrating in the air with a lineman.
No.
Like, that's not going to happen. Not a linebacker. Like, look, give me a wide receiver. I'm all about it. But
there's something called physics, and it does not play well for the small guy versus the big guy.
Yeah. What a night from Alta. That first half, it just didn't look like it was in rhythm, Moose. But, look, oranges do wonders. Those halftime oranges were fantastic for the Hawks.
Oranges do wonders. Last time I had an orange was an AYSO, and I'm like, this is great. We got to bring this back. Once you get to college, they're like, you need these protein packs. Just crap.
You know, and we mentioned coming into this, look, both teams dealing with players missing. We talk about no Cottis tonight out of the backfield for Alta. They've had an answer. We talk about no Jack Johnson, the quarterback for Brighton. And, you know, honestly, the offense has only scored 10, but it hasn't been because Morzalewski hasn't played well. He's done everything he could. I know there's 2 turnovers. One self-inflicted. The other's just a heck of a play on the outside, right? Like, there's nothing. Like, Jack Johnson could get bit by that potentially. Like, that's such a quick bang-bang play.
I think the defender was even surprised
yes,
that was an interception.
Is this in the end zone for the touchback? Brighton has played a good game. They haven't scored as many points they've been used to, but this has been a tough competitive game, and when they get Johnson back, it's still going to be a team well-positioned to make a deep playoff run.
I just love seeing these 2 storied programs going at it.
It's fun. It's one of the best soccer rivalries. We've seen great basketball matchups between these two. It's awesome to see you back on the gridiron for Brighton Alta.
Yeah. They need to be in the same region.
Agreed. First down. Morzalewski running out of time. Keeping it. Has a man that caught and met.
Running out of time, but making his own time. He should have been sacked. His athletic ability to extend the play is elite.
That's why you wear pads, because somewhere Jackson DeMille is looking to lay a hit.
Clean hit, too.
Great clean hit. Gain of 9. Morzalewski trying for Matheson, incomplete. And that's been the piece that I think Brighton has not been able to take advantage of, and that's Nash Matheson tonight.
Yeah, Nash is their leading receiver. Last year, I feel like Nash could have caught a cold in the desert. It was like, I wonder what Jack's going to do. Where the heck is Nash? Oh, it's going to him. This year, they've been able to spread the ball out a lot more with the emergence of Peters and all these other players.
Well, Wismer's been fantastic for him on the outside. Matheson's been really good. We've called Beams tonight. He's had a catch or 2. But that's been the thing is, you know, Morzalewski has thrown the football a little bit, not at the same rate that Johnson has coming into this game. And so when you don't get the ball in the hands of your playmakers at the same rate, that's where some of the difference starts to appear, right?
Absolutely. And they're not used to it. They're not getting their reps tonight. They're just like a little bit cold
Well,
almost.
and the other side of that is Alta, we talked about the length. Look, you got 6'2", 6'1" on the outside. Like, you're not going up against a 5'10" corner or 5'11" corner. It's like, look, we got the size to match up with you, and you're going to have to be precise and perfect in order to take advantage of it.
This is not the cornerback crew that most Utah high school quarterbacks are used to.
Matheson with the catch. That might be his first of the night on 3rd and 1. Picks up a first.
Yeah, great job on that. Jaeger is giving him a big cushion.
Yep.
He's
Just
saying,
don't get beat at this point, right?
Yeah.
Nothing deep.
Yeah, take that 5-yard out. Take that 10-yard out. I don't care.
Yep.
But don't get the touchdown. Don't give that up.
Yep.
I've been really impressed with Jaeger.
He's played really well. A couple of pass breakups tonight. He's been tight in coverage.
And he had a great catch, too.
Yeah, Morzalewski able to pick up 4 yards.
Now, this is where if you're sending
You got to
your
run back.
receivers
Run
deep,
back.
Yeah, get back.
Yeah, timeout taken here by Brighton. We'll take a quick timeout with them. Be back for the final 2 minutes. Welcome back. 2nd down and 6. They put 2:02 on the clock here for the remnants of this 4th quarter.
And this has been probably the fastest game we've ever called together.
It's been quick.
There's been games where we're calling East, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a fast game. And then East decides, hey, we're going to go in shotgun.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
wow. But Brighton and Alta, they're getting after it, and they're doing it quick.
Who would have thunk? Morzalewski running out of time, goes down. Edge pressure for Alta, able to sack Morzalewski.
And there's a dance at the end. Not as good as Lapaho, but still a dance.
We'll stay here and just want to, again, take one more opportunity to thank our sponsors. Really appreciate you joining us, but without our sponsors, this doesn't happen. Heidemann & Associates, it's a flat-rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the law office nearest you. Of course, I also want to thank Igloo Outfitters. I don't know if you've checked the forecast, Moose. Next week's going to be chilly. But Igloo Outfitters has you covered. The coziest wearable sleeping bag has you covered during those chilly days and nights. Worry no more about the weather and watch your favorite team in comfort with Igloo Outfitters. Go to Igloo Outfitters, that's IGLU, igloooutfitters.com, and enter Rewind for $20 off.
All right, we're going to Igloo Outfitters on Thursday if it's going to be chilly.
It's going to be chilly.
Oh, gosh.
This forecast brought to you by, enter your favorite restaurant here. 67 degrees on Thursday. That's the high. That's the high.
What's the low?
45.
Oh. Burr. It's
I
cold
know.
out here.
I
There
know.
must be some polars in the atmosphere.
You better go buy some pants. Shorts aren't going to cut it next week, Moose.
Amen.
1:56 to go. And that one intercepted. Another interception for Alta. And that is a heck of a grab and a concession. Taking the knee there quickly is guess who? Liava'a with the pick.
Getting a flag, but might be worth it, honestly.
Multiple flags. There's one in the backfield, and there's one where the interception occurred.
Getting the dance in, but took a bow. Might be worth it.
How about the night for Liava'a?
That's his second interception. And really, he's a rush in.
His first. The other interception was Jessup.
My bad. So only one, not as cool, but that's a big one.
But Liava'a had the fumble recovery, right?
Yep. Sometimes as a coach, you lose your mind on unsportsmanlike. Sometimes you join in, and you're like, I'm happy that we were able to do this. Oh. You okay?
We're good.
All right. Sometimes the sneeze comes, sometimes it goes.
We had some,
falling in the air.
Sinus false start. There you go. Sinus false start is.
Let's see, 25, 25, 25, 25. You may have to get a first down.
No.
Just kidding.
Brighton has used timeouts. I think they only have one left. And it's 40.
Oh, I'm smart. All right. Yep, that's the game. Super smart tonight. Killing it. Sometimes you have week 1 jitters. Sometimes you have week 8 jitters.
McKay coming out here under center. Oh, they motion out Lapuaho. Oh, come on. Let's run some option with Lapuaho.
I have never been so excited in my life. Literally, I was speechless for a moment there.
Look.
I was like, give Lapuaho the ball.
Throw to the big man in the flat and just let him rumble on down.
Oh, man, you tricksters. You offensive coaching staff of Alta.
Final seconds is Alta here, just letting this tick away. Coach Satera reserved to the fact that Brighton is going to come up short. First region loss for the Bengals coming here in week 8 at the hands of the Alta Hawks.
Brighton still has a big season ahead of them, and so does Alta.
You know, we talk about that matchup. It's coming. Next week, Brighton will return home. They'll take on Queen Creek out of Arizona. And then the season finale, they'll head to West for what will be, for the Bengals, last chance at a potential region title.
Man, getting region titles is very hard. Oh, there's a flag.
Yeah, it's going to be a celebration. Moose, take a moment. Give us your thoughts. What'd you learn tonight about the Brighton Bengals? I know not fully staffed. What'd you learn about Brighton?
Honestly, I learned about their depth tonight. This is a gritty team that finds ways to really compete. They didn't win, but they added an element to their game that wasn't there before, and I think Brighton is a phenomenal team.
Really good team. They're going to be tough. You get Johnson back with this team, they're going to be tough. And, again, hope is he'll be back. We certainly hope he's back. You hate to see a senior lose the end of their year. What'd you learn about Alta tonight, Moose?
I learned a lot about number 5, Calvin Lava'a. He is an absolute stud and creates turnovers and creates mayhem. He's my all-state player of the game for sure.
Wow, we have your player of the game.
Because he creates mayhem.
That's not a recognized sponsorship, but we'll go with a good play there, huh?
All right, good player of the game.
We saw the penalty flags, 15 yards being marked off, and a final timeout being taken here, and the chance here for the final last play, as most last plays are final, and final tends to indicate a last play. We're wordsmiths here on Rewind. Of course, want to remind you can join Dusty Lister and myself every week on KSLSports.com as we catch up on all the happenings across the state, throughout the state. And no one brings you more high school football coverage than KSLSports.com.
Alta's defense is taking pictures on the sideline already. They're pretty hyped to get this win.
As well they should be. We talk about Alta. They've been in a lot of games. They put up a lot of points. They've had some close losses. This is huge. Huge for Alta to get a win like this late in the year and get some momentum, as that can do it, but Brighton going to take their last time out because it would be a 4th down.
Oh, the game is not over, ladies and gentlemen. I thought the timeouts were done.
Yeah, and I wonder if the penalty might have caused the problem. Actually, I don't recall. I thought Brighton had taken 2 timeouts, so I don't know if Alta took one, and now Coach Satera with a chance here to force a special teams play. But it will indeed. You can't run off 35 on a 4th down. So Alta going to have to do something. Brighton will have an opportunity to bring the offense back out on the field here.
I saw another great sign just barely from the crowd.
Cheer or go to jail. Oh.
Yep, cheer or go to jail from the policeman.
Yeah, look, we're serious about it at Alta, man.
That was the first time I saw that. A police officer cheer or go to jail.
Yeah.
But what are they going to do here?
I think you punt it.
Brighton's definitely going all out for them. They don't have
here's the deal. If you get a block and a touchdown, then you kick it off and you could potentially get the offense back out on the field, right? Like, it's slim of slim. I get it. Not dead.
6, 9, 10. There's only 10
they're
guys
short.
on the field.
Running a guy out there. They got it.
And now a timeout from Alta. Okay.
Yeah, they did. And McKay's like, why? Which it's probably going to work out better because McKay took some back steps, and I don't know if that was as he saw the timeout or what. But this game that was just humming along, I don't know, this final 2 minutes is going to take longer than the first half.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if McKay runs out of the back of the end zone and tries to eat up some clock.
That's actually the best thing you probably can do, right? Because
take a safety.
Yep, give him the 2. You'll kick off to him. You make him go the length of the field twice, essentially.
Yep. That's what I do in this situation.
Does that hurt a punter's stats? Is there anything about safeties conceded that's not good for a punter?
Absolutely not. It just hurts their feelings and their rushing.
All right.
You'll see these punters, they have like negative 40 rushing yards, and you're like, what the heck happened?
Well, it's like quarterbacks back in the day, right? Before they were engaged in the offense as a runner. It's like that's all their sack yards.
I just remember Tom Brady in like his 28th season finally got 1,000 yards rushing. And he's like, I did it.
Of course, when you play 50 games a season, this punt is away. McKay was able to get it away. And look, takes it out to bounce, and we'll go out of bounds at the 40. 27 seconds left. Last chance, last hope for a miracle here for Brighton.
Most everyone's clearing out real quick.
Will help getting out of the parking lot a little bit quicker as well. We got fireworks behind us, or had a firework behind us. No doubt to celebrate the Alta win. It actually might be over near Bingham High School where those fireworks are.
It could be. Do you have scores of any other games?
We're looking. As we look to fill time here. Skyridge all over Lone Peak. Bingham did defeat Riverton tonight.
Alta getting a late substitution in.
First down. And looking up the sideline for Matheson. Oh, that caught! And Matheson makes a man miss. Matheson down inside the 10. So hold on. That clock going to stop as it'll be first and goal here. Brighton with 14 seconds left after Matheson's catch.
Nash Matheson. Prayer was thrown up and answered right there. We may have been a little early on player of the game.
Might have been a little early. You score here, you can have 12 seconds left. You get an onside, you got a play or two, but you got to hurry. That clock starts. Snap in the end zone, looking for Matheson, incomplete. And you might now have officially ran out of plays.
Okay. I was like, whoa. Okay, quick strike out of nowhere. Let's go Brighton.
Because you needed to score there so you could recover the onside, so you had enough time to have a play. And I think right now you're going to take 3 to 4 seconds off to run a play. I don't know if you'll have enough.
I don't know. I've seen crazier things, though. The band's not on the field yet.
Not on the field. In fact, not even in the stadium right now.
Yeah, where in the world is the band?
Maybe they started their pizza party early.
Maybe they are on the field.
Second and goal. And incomplete. Matheson recognized. Needed one more play, so you let that one hit the turf. He hit the turf at the hands of Liava'a.
That ball had some speed on it.
Yes, it did.
Talking about band on the field, that was a John Elway cross throw right there. John Elway at Stanford, he used to throw the ball so hard it would hit the guys in the chest and have a little cross on their chest.
From the nose of the football.
Yeah.
Third and goal here. Last play for the Bengals. This is really just for score differential purposes. In the end zone, nearly intercepted, and that will do it. It's final, 24-10. The Alta Hawks use a 21-0 second half to get the win over the Bengals. Moose, your player of the game.
Well, my player of the game, I revealed it early, just like everyone else, but it's going to come down to Lava'a for me.
Liava'a had a monster game on the defensive side for Alta as they shut out Brighton in the second half. Multiple turnovers taken away by Calvin Liava'a, the junior, helping to lift Alta on senior night to the win. Want to thank you for joining us here tonight on KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. For all of us here, Moose Bingham, Doug Jardine, Tyson Locken, running our system tonight. My name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week on KSLSports.com. Good night, everybody.